My mother-in-law is a nightmare. But then my husband started being the same.
No.
Not the husband. My ex-husband seemed perfect.
Until
he became your ex. Until we got married, then he changed when the ring went on my finger, and I noticed all the red flags as soon as I was out of the relationship. By the way, this comes from Pink-Haired Girl 93 in the ROK Storytime subreddit. So, when we were together, he was acting like he couldn't do enough for me, my family, and our friends, but then he would moan about it and everyone when we were home alone. I had 1,000,001 problems with his mom. At the time we were together, I was on antidepressants, and she offered to pick up my prescription as she worked at the pharmacy that I got them from. She didn't know what the prescription was for, and when we got back to their house, the bag was on his bed, and the sticker was open. That is such an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
So inappropriate. I thought nothing of this at first, as I thought the paper bag might have just ripped in her bag. But when my ex was in the kitchen, she asked him if he knew I was taking a high-dose antidepressant.
Whoa.
Did she do this? No shame, like in front of OP?
Yeah, she was like, oh, I went through your bag and I noticed you have a prescription.
Very high dose. Does your husband know? For context, I was 17 years old when I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression on Christmas Eve and was 20 or 21 when this happened. Oh, she's pretty young.
She's pretty young.
Yeah.
So she's, this mother is violating
Sarah Riley says,
young
isn't this
person.
illegal? That is illegal.
It sounds legal.
That is illegal. I had been dating her son since I was 19. He was 27. Little bit of an age gap.
Ooh, yeah, it makes sense why these people are controlling.
Yeah. I should have noticed a red flag of being 27 and living at home with his mom and dad. I was livid. Everyone has different scenarios, situations.
This is true.
I was livid when I found out she had checked what my prescription was for and then spoken to him about it. I don't know what he said about it as I wasn't there. Okay, so it wasn't like in front of OP.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was behind her back. There were a few incidents where we would go out and she would go through my bag in his room and use my eczema cream that costs a lot of money. So she's just like going in all her things. This is a pattern.
I got eczema.
Me too.
Like, I'll just use it.
I got red hands since I was a child.
I have eczema on my feet sometimes.
We came home once to find her sitting on the sofa looking extremely shiny. He asked her why she was so shiny. Why are you so shiny, Ma?
Why are you glowing?
And she said, I borrowed something for Queen.
A queen?
Queen. I said that I wish she had asked, as it's really expensive. She said, well, we are family now. I don't need to ask. She said, well, we are family now. I don't need to ask. When we went upstairs and found that the brand new unopened tub was now half empty.
She like slather herself.
You know, like the peanut butter baby?
Yeah, I was exactly
She would like put it all
thinking
over
that.
and she go,
Yes.
I was really angry as I work for minimum wage and don't have money to throw away. Cream can be expensive, especially like prescription cream.
Kimberly Fine says, that's slippery bee.
Wait, what?
Kimberly Fine says, that's slippery bee.
And I was really angry as I work for minimum wage and don't have money to just throw away. He told me to calm down and he would sort it out. I thought this meant he would talk to her and one of them would buy me a new one.
No.
That would make sense. That never happened. The next week we went into and came back to find that his room had a strange burnt smell.
She staged in the room.
I looked around to find that my bag had been emptied out and my GHD hair straighteners had been used.
Oh no.
They had been used on wet hair or hair with lots of product in, which had
So much cream in
broken
them.
them.
No.
Dude, she's a creamy girl. Sorry for that sentence. When I tried to use them after cleaning them, they smelled like fire and started to smoke.
She just destroys everything she touches.
Yeah. I asked her if she had used them as they weren't in the bag I left them in, and she said, no.
No. And her hair is like broken off.
And like her hair is just on fire.
Yeah. No. She's super shiny.
And said I was paranoid. When we got engaged, she said, you can call me mom now. I stated that I'm not comfortable to call someone else mom because I'm very close with my mom, and it would just be weird for me, to which she got upset and started saying to her husband how ungrateful and rude I was. She put her mom in the care home I was working in when she had cancer and could no longer look after herself. During this time, she told everyone I wasn't looking after her properly, that she was getting worse and not better. At the funeral, she said to people she passed away because of the care I provided. At the funeral, she said to people she passed away because of the care I provided. I can't cure cancer.
Shame on you, OP. Shame.
A few years down the line, I was working in a different care home that she made sure her husband's mom became a resident at. She had dementia. When she passed away and my ex had already separated and she told everyone I'd unalived her. So she's just doing all these types of blaming. She's stealing her stuff.
Yeah.
She's making demands like, call me mom, getting upset when she doesn't want to. And then she's blaming her for
not curing cancer.
Not curing and causing the unaliveness of multiple of her family members.
So OP's a serial unaliver at this point.
Yeah. She should go to jail.
She should go to jail for all of this.
During the planning of our wedding, his mom kept trying to get us to invite her friends, saying that we would pay for them to go. We had to keep saying that people were not invited and we would not be paying for people to come to our wedding. She also wanted to come dress shopping with me and my mom, but I love this word so much. My mom. And I refused, and she became upset and pointed out that I couldn't wear certain types of dresses because I was too fat.
I hate this person. Maybe your mouth should be more closed. Do we think like that?
You tell him.
Maybe
Sophia.
your big fat mouth should be closed.
Yeah, hit it. More. One more.
Maybe.
Yeah. Go.
Bop, bop.
All right. I was a size 6 or 8, UK sizes. She then insisted on wearing the same color as my bridesmaids. This woman is
She's like, what if I wore the same color as your bridesmaids?
What if I wore a white dress? Would that be okay?
What if I
And if
married
not,
my son?
I'm mad at you. She then insisted on wearing the same color as my bridesmaids. This was my nan's favorite color. I love these words. This was my nan's favorite color, and she had passed away a couple of years before. I was very close with her and was heartbroken. She finally agreed not to wear that color. When my mom told her she wanted to wear that color, then she had to buy new bridesmaid dresses and a new dress for my flower girl. She was not happy about this.
Nice.
Someone finally standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm curious this whole time that like all these inappropriate behaviors are happening. What's the husband doing? And also, what is OP doing? Like, are they communicating their dissatisfaction? Are they putting boundaries down?
I think it's pretty hard, though, as like a young 20-something to
that's a good point.
Know how to do that because you haven't quite learned how to do it.
For sure. I'm just curious if any conversations were happening or if like she's just getting away with all this behavior.
Yeah.
When we got married, we decided to get married in another country on the same beach he had proposed to me on. Cute. During the time she was there for the wedding and she was increasingly insufferable, she would put things on my parents' bills in bars and restaurants. The worst was at the hen party, which I hope she couldn't come to. I hope she would go to the stag party with her son. So she was upset because she didn't have a mother of the groom sash. We didn't get her one because of all the things she had done, and we were petty like that. The main reason we didn't was she wouldn't stop calling my nan my grandma. Seems silly, I know. My nan hated being called a grandma as it was too posh and old sounding. She only became a granny when my cousin had her first child, and great nan would be too hard for the child to say, and all the stuff surrounding the dress color. She knew what the color meant to me, as we said it a million times to her, and she stated, it's a nice color that will look good on me. She's like, I don't care. They're like, we're mad. And she was like, oh, no, I couldn't care less. At the hen party after the sash drama, she kept telling me to watch what I'm eating because dress won't fit. More weight comments.
Ugh.
And it was probably already a struggle to get me into it.
Oh my God. Keep your mouth shut.
Rude. Caitlin still loves me.
Aw.
Cream. My mom, cousin, aunt, and auntie, and second mom, my mom's best friend from since I was 18 months old, had finally had enough of this. Started topping up her drinks. I hope she would be too hungover for the wedding the next day.
She's like, here you go. Keep it coming.
But what if she just gets worse?
Like,
what if she gets more
What if she's just
unhinged?
super drunk
That
at the wedding?
whole thing.
That's what we want.
You're playing a dangerous game here.
Mm-hmm. It's a balance.
Finally have enough. Okay. 2 people who shall remain nameless also tripped her up on the way home from talking too much BS about me. Unfortunately, she was fine the next day. Like, physically tripped her?
It seems so.
Dang.
It seems like they're trying to get her super blackout drunk.
And then like
they're also like trying to like take her out.
Unfortunately, she was fine the next day. Unfortunately.
Dang it.
While everyone was making their way to their seats for the wedding, mother-in-law walked down the aisle, testing it out for me apparently, but knocking the flowers out of place so that they had to be moved back and delayed our wedding. She then kept trying to be in every single photo with the photographer.
Yeah.
Was having no of and refused to take the pictures till she was out of the way. Oh, so the photographer was not having it.
Yeah.
It was like, no, get out of the way.
Get out of the pictures,
Get
lady.
out of here. After the wedding, when we got back home, she told everyone how fat I was in my dress.
Shut up.
And how unfortunate it was that I looked the way I did.
How unfortunate it is that you are the way that you are. Because everyone hates you.
Wild. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
My ex then started to change, and I became his property. Well, like, if this is your mom, it's kind of hard to come out, like, undamaged.
Yeah.
So it makes
The
sense.
perfect
Like,
guy.
the previous story of someone, like, internalized the way their parents. I mean, we're human. That's what happens. All right. So I wasn't allowed out without him or to talk to certain people. So all this controlling behavior just came in.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit and lockdown was enforced. It did not help us as I was suddenly stuck without even being able to go to my parents' house 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah, that must have been really hard for, like, when you're already in a relationship that is this controlling and
Yeah.
stuff, and then to not even be able to leave.
Yeah, you're just stuck with this controlling person, which probably makes the controlling behavior even worse.
Yeah.
As I work in healthcare, I was only allowed to go to work and home, not even to go out shopping.
Oh
I had
my
to
God.
keep the residents of the care home safe. I started working more hours as we became short-staffed because people were getting COVID. I worked 12 days in a row, 12-hour shifts. I was exhausted after this and slept for most of the day. Makes sense. My ex came home for work and told me how useless and lazy I was because I hadn't done the ironing. He then accused me of cheating on him. You haven't done the ironing and also you're cheating on me.
I hate him.
How? I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's like the word. Like, how?
He's like, you're hooking up with your patients. Things got worse, and after a year, I moved to my parents' house to try and have some space and repair our relationship. He then called and told me I moved back and quit my job and cut off all contact with everyone I know other than my family members. So he told OP to do this?
I think so. Or that she did do that. I don't know.
I was done. I said, it's over. Let's go our separate ways. Thank God.
Yeah.
When I moved back to my parents, we had agreed that I'd take the cat with me. When we finally said it was over, he told everyone that I left without saying anything and took the cat.
I mean,
is that what happened?
He's trying to manipulate people.
Wait, but is that what happened?
I think I don't think that she left without saying anything. I think they talked about it and he kind of told her to go.
Okay. Since the breakup, I noticed how he would play mind games with me and use my mental health against me. And I also found out that there were lunch dates with girls he worked with while we were still together and getting along. But were they friend?
Were they friend dates? Do we think about that?
Were they friend dates?
No, this
Hashtag
is
friend date?
So obviously projection. He's like, oh, you're cheating on me as he's cheating on her.
But unless they were friend dates.
Unless they were friend dates, of
Yeah.
course.
Friend dates are great. According to him and his family, I'm the a-hole for breaking his heart and leaving him for someone else. Also, we would never leave you because you could listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, but let's discuss.
Yeah, I mean, good thing to get away from him and his crazy mom, his creamy mom.
Stop! No!
Really oily mom.
No,
I'm sorry,
Sophia,
Caitlin.
Not you.
It wasn't me this time.
Oily mom.
Oh, no.
Stop. Creamy mom? No,
creamy
it's
mom.
creamy mom.
I said oily.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
see
no.
it.
If you say,
Oily
oh, no,
mom.
just
Creamy
stop.
mom.
Stop saying it. Stop saying it.
Oh,
Stop
get
saying
away
it.
from me,
Stop,
creamy
stop.
mum. Be gone, creamy mum.
I don't think it's good for us. I'm fine with it. It's just
yeah, no, I think it's good that you're getting away from her.
Yes.
I think that you need to find, you deserve someone who is not going to treat you like this and dismiss your feelings and the amount of work that you do. Especially, I mean, being a healthcare, worker during the pandemic.
That's
a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. And it's one thing to like be happy with your partner and they have a crazy mom and you're like, okay, this sucks, but it's the kind of package deal and I love my partner.
Mhm.
It's another for your partner to be
Also, it
manipulative and
sucks.
controlling and insulting and similar to his mom.
Yeah.
I'm very glad they got out.
Me too.
So I didn't start dating until 6 months after we separated for good. I started dating a guy that was there for me throughout the whole separation and me trying to reconcile. I tried arranging couples counseling, which I paid for, and then he refused to do it, and I lost 500 pounds as it was cheaper to block book. I know dealing with someone with mental health problems isn't easy, but every time I'd feel myself slipping into a dark place, I would sort out therapy and go back onto medication if I needed to. So am I the a-hole?
No.
In what
No.
way are you the a-hole?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm sorry that you've internalized the shaming and
Yeah.
insulting from your ex's, from your ex and their mom.
Yeah.
But I hope you could reconcile that inside of you and realize that you did great to get out of this relationship. It was
Yeah.
only damaging to you.